All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We are going to just give a few more minutes for all of our guests to come on into the webinar and give us a few minutes to get started. So just get comfortable and get your iced coffee. And we're going to start in about 2 minutes. All right. So I am one of your co-hosts today. I'm Dr. Nikki Inglis, co-hosting with Dr. Mario Banuelos. And before we get started, we're just going to go through a few housekeeping items today. To start, we wanted to let you know that we're using Zoom's AI translation captions today. So these can translate the event live as we go. So to use this feature, you can find the captions button is located at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There's a schematic here for you. So click that arrow at the top right of the button and then click translation. A menu is going to pop up and choose the language of the captions that you prefer and click save. Then you'll see those captions being translated live for you as we go. And a few guidelines for today. So we are on a Zoom webinar. So that means we can't see or hear you, although we're really excited to see and hear you next week. But if you want to ask questions, you can use the Q&A feature. So we can't monitor the chat during this webinar. So don't try to ask any questions in the chat itself. Use the Q&A feature. Where we're going to be recording all of our presenters today. So this will be available for you to rewatch or for those that are unable to join us. So we're going to save all the questions and answers, and we're going to make them available to you, to anyone who couldn't join us today, and to the families. I'm going to pass it over to Mario.
Good afternoon and welcome to the College of Science and Math's Family Partnership Conference. Today is a celebration of beginnings, and we want to congratulate y'all for our incoming students for reaching this exciting point in your lives. So, starting college is not only a milestone, but it's a really first step in a journey filled with opportunities to grow, um, discover new passions, and build lasting connections. We also want to warmly thank the families who are here alongside their students. Your encouragement has always carried them this far, and your partnership will continue to be one of the strongest foundations for their success as they pursue their education and future careers.
All right, so we are going to introduce ourselves. Like I said, my name is Dr. Nikki Inglis. I'm an assistant professor of environmental science. So if you are an EES major or thinking about being an EES major, you'll be seeing a lot of me and my colleagues in the EES department. I'm just starting my second year here at Fresno State, and I am so happy that I landed here with this entire amazing team that you're going to meet today. I actually grew up on a small farm in upstate New York, so coming to the Valley was really felt like coming home to me, and I'm grateful to be in this rural and agricultural hub. I did my undergrad at University of Colorado, and I might be a scientist now, but I started as an undeclared major, an English major, a psychology major, and then a journalism and mass communication graduate. I ended up getting a master's in environmental science from right here in the CSU system at Monterey Bay, and then a PhD in geospatial analytics. So I definitely am living proof that you don't have to have it figured out today, next week, or even by your senior year when you're graduating. Your journey, your academic journey, like mine, is going to have so many twists and turns that you could never imagine. So, you don't have to, stay with the idea that you have about your future right now. It could change so much. I'm so grateful for all of the different academic fields that I explored, and that's what gave me my career today. So, just be along for the ride, ride the wave, and go with the flow, and you're going to have so many opportunities to expand your future possibilities while you're here. So I am into, of course, maps. I love geospatial data science. I do a lot of data science and mapping on my computer, but I also love being out in the field, exploring our Sierra Nevada forests, rangelands and shrublands, exploring our national parks. And the most important thing about me is that I have two rescue chihuahuas, and their names are Izzy and Winnie the Pooh. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm gonna let Mario introduce himself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fresno State. My name is Mario Bañuelos. I'm from Delano, California. And I'll tell you a little bit about my academic journey. I actually went to Fresno State as an undergrad, and I got a major in mathematics, thinking also that I wanted to be a high school math teacher. And I got a teaching credential at CSU Bakersfield. And I actually was a high school math teacher, but the opportunities that I experienced in Fresno State of doing research really kind of changed my trajectory, and I wanted to continue my education. So I went to UC Merced for a PhD in applied math. And so after that, I came back to Fresno State. So now I'm an associate professor in the math department. And some of the things that keep me motivated are kind of the research that I do now that is focused on the people here. So I do some research now on Valley fever, and some modeling about that. So as an incoming freshman, I didn't know that you could use math for things like that. So I'm happy to do that now and kind of share those experiences with students. Um, when I'm not doing math, I enjoy art and poetry and caffeine. So if you're ever around, even if you don't have me for a class and you find my office in Peter's Business, I'll offer you a cup of coffee or some tea. So with that, I just wanted to reiterate, welcome to Fresno State and welcome to the College of Science and Math.
So today is a place to begin this journey that's going to be many years in the making for all of you. We're going to be working on this journey to forge a strong partnership between us, the faculty and the staff, and the college, and you, the majors in our college, and your families. We all really want the same thing. We want you to, of course, complete your degree and graduate and be successful. But while you're here to develop the skills and the experience that are going to really help you to go on to these rewarding careers. And these are not just careers, they're ways to give back to your own family, to your own community, to the valley, and changing the world. We want to work together with you to support you in achieving those goals. We have so much to learn from each other. A lot of us who spend time in the classroom, we know that we learn sometimes more from our students than you do from us. So this is a really important dialogue that we're going to be having throughout the time that we're here. So what we hope to kind of start and kick off today is leaving you with a little bit more of an understanding about what this new college experience is going to be like and what your first year is going to be like and how to connect with all of the resources that we have available on here on campus and in the college to support you in this adjustment to this exciting new time in life. So we're hoping that you come away with this inspired and excited by all the possibilities for where you and your students' continuing education is going to lead. So we hope you have a good time and have fun and learn a lot.
Okay, so we've put together a pretty thoughtful program for you today with speakers who are going to inform and inspire. So we're going to begin with a welcome video from our president, Saul Jimenez Sandoval, followed by our dean, Christopher Meyer, who's going to share insights of the exciting work happening at the College of Science and Math. So you hear about opportunities available to students, both in your courses and through experiences that can help them grow as future scientists and leaders. Then we're going to invite two of our alumni, Jordan Barnett and Annabelle Linko, to share some of words about their experiences during and after their time at Fresno State. Sierra Estrada is the Director of Financial Aid and Scholarships, Kathy Dunbar, Assistant Director for College Relations at the Career Center, and Nancy Rosales, Interim Supplemental Instruction Coordinator at the Learning Center, will provide a helpful overview of what their offices can offer and how to best reach out. Finally, you're going to hear from a panel of current CSM students who are going to share their experience and offer advice to those beginning their journey here. That's going to be really kind of important advice. People that are already at CSM. And then we're going to close with some remarks from our Senior Associate Dean, Dr. Joy Godo, and give you information about how to connect with us after the conference. So we have a full schedule. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start by hearing a welcome message from our president, Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval, who unfortunately couldn't be here, but has sent us a message that he would like to pass to you all.
The message is in a video that we are hoping will play.
Students and family members,
Yeah.
Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval, President of Fresno State, and I want to thank you for participating in this year's College of Science and Mathematics Family Partnership Conference. Family is critical for student success, and your presence here shows your strong commitment to helping further your child's education. My father, Alfonso Jimenez, taught me the value of hard work, and my late mother, Tila Sandoval, taught me the value of cultivating human relationships. To the students, who inspires you, and to whom will you dedicate your degree when you graduate? The transition from high school to college can be challenging, especially in STEM, but every student has the talent and ability to reach their fullest potential, to complete their degrees, and go on to find successful careers in their discipline. And there is no class too challenging for you at Fresno State. We have the tutors and resources you need to pass them. The need for STEM graduates has never been greater. A College of Science and Mathematics degree leads to well-paying and rewarding careers that benefit you, your families, our community, and our region. Recent graduates have moved on to jobs in education, healthcare, biotechnology, social services, information technology, and the aerospace industry, to name just a few. I thank you again for participating. I hope you will stay engaged with the College of Science and Mathematics through the family partnership and throughout your students' time here at Fresno State. Go Dogs! Hello, students and family.
Well, thank you so much to virtual Dr. Jimenez Sandoval, our president, for that recorded message. While he couldn't be with us today, you will see him around campus. He's really accessible and approachable, so say hi if you do see President around campus. Now I'd like to introduce you to our dean, Dr. Christopher Meyer. He's Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, and he's going to talk about the opportunities that you have within the college and the impact that you can make.
Right. Good afternoon. It's an honor to lead one of the 8 colleges at this outstanding university and to work alongside the talented and dedicated faculty and staff and students who make Fresno State such a special place. In many ways, I once stood where you stand today, or perhaps you're sitting down, but because I grew up in a rural Northern California community, not unlike many towns in the Central Valley, and earned my chemistry degree from Chico State. My Cal State education prepared me for graduate study in biochemistry at UC Riverside, postdoctoral training at Michigan State, and a career as a faculty member, a department chair at Cal State Fullerton, and program director at the National Science Foundation. I share this because your Fresno State education can also take you farther than you may yet imagine. Congratulations on choosing Fresno State and the College of Science and Mathematics. You're joining a vibrant and diverse community committed to your growth, discovery, and success. Through hands-on learning, research, and collaboration, you will develop the technical expertise, critical thinking abilities, and communication skills essential for 21st century STEM careers. A degree from our college can open the door to many rewarding paths. Some you may already know, and others you have yet to discover. To the families joining us today, I encourage you to explore these possibilities alongside your students and support them as their goals evolve. Our college brings together the mathematical, physical, biological, and behavioral sciences. We are united by curiosity and by a shared determination to improve lives and strengthen communities. Together, we address complex challenges involving food, water, energy, health, and the environment, issues that are vital to the Central Valley and the world. By working across disciplines, we can find solutions that no single field could achieve alone. So Fresno State alumni are already making a difference throughout the valley and around the world. As a student here, you will have opportunities to work alongside faculty on meaningful research, present your findings at regional, national, and even international conferences, meet alumni and industry leaders, and even co-author publications. And this often happens within 2 to 3 years of joining Fresno State. The journey ahead will require curiosity, perseverance, and hard work, as well as encouragement of your family and friends. But you will not travel it alone. Our faculty and staff are here to challenge you, mentor you, and support you every step of the way. Today marks more than the beginnings of your college experience. It marks the beginnings of a partnership, and we cannot wait to see what you will discover, accomplish, and contribute. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Meyer, for those welcoming words. Now that you've met the dean, we're going to introduce you to some distinguished alumni from CSM. You're going to hear about their experiences. They were where you are now at 1.2. And I'm proud to introduce alumni Jordan Barnett and Annabelle Lolinko.
Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. Dr. Lalenko, do you want to say hello? Can we hear you? Perfect. Well, hi, everyone. While we're waiting for Dr. Lalenko to start, I just want to say welcome and congratulations to what I believe to be the best decision I ever made, which is entering the College of Science and Mathematics at Fresno State. I can't tell you how much of an honor and a pleasure it is to be here, and I'm truly humbled by the opportunity. So, hello, looking forward to sharing some information with you guys. And yeah, I just wanted Dr. Linka to say hello too.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jordan, for filling in. I'm really excited to be here and to talk a little bit about my journey with Fresno State. I think I have a lot of love for not only the College of Science and Math, but I think, all of the institutions within Fresno State that has really set me on my journey. And so you've read a little bit about who I am, and I'm hoping to share a little bit about how Fresno State was so instrumental to putting me on my path. So, yeah.
So, I'm not sure who do we think we want to go first, Dr. Linko?
Oh my gosh. It's really a toss-up. Do you want to go first? I heard there's a little bit of a surprise.
There is a surprise for Dr. Lulinko. So yes, I'm going to try sharing my screen. I'm a dentist, definitely not a technology guy. So bear with me, everyone here. I did practice. So let's see. Okay, perfect. Can everyone see here the PowerPoint presentation that I have going? Okay, awesome. Well, hello, everyone, and hello, future or current Bulldogs, I again just want to say thank you so much for your time. I think the investment that you're making in yourself and the investment that the families have made in our current students and our future students is something that should be acknowledged. And so I just wanted to start with saying congratulations to all of you on making, again, what I believe to be the most important decision that I made, which is to enter the College of Science and Mathematics. And for me, this is Fresno State is a place where everything started for me, both intellectually as an adult to really learn how to learn, where I met my wife, where I met amazing people like Dr. Lilinko, and everything really started for me. So my wife, Susie, she is a graduate of the Laos College of Engineering. My mom is a college of the Craig School of Business. My brother is a graduate of the Laos College of Engineering, and I'm also a graduate of both the College of Science and Mathematics and now the Craig School of Business with an MBA recently. And to all of you parents out there, I can't say how awesome and amazing it is. If you can tell by my wife's belly there, for us, college is quite a far away. But also to the parents that are on this, I'm sure you guys know that while these are my current babies, Charlotte, the oldest, to our upper right, Millie, who's turning 2 on Monday on the left, and then Harvey, who's 6 weeks old tomorrow. While it seems, so long, we all know that it's not too long. And so, really, for me, I'm a dentist. I practice dentistry in Fresno. And I'm so honored to do that, to provide care to a pediatric population, especially low income population that I work with. So, this is kind of my professional journey. So, first, I did undergraduate at Fresno State and I received my Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry in 2016. And then I went on to UOP Dental School in San Francisco from 2017 to 2020. And then now I'm a practicing dentist. And then I missed Fresno State so much that I actually went and earned my MBA to the Executive MBA program in May. And then now I serve with our deans here, Associate Dean Joy Godo and Dean Christopher Meyer, our fearless leader on the advisory board, because I love Fresno State and it's given me everything that I have. And so I drew this, or I didn't draw this, but I took this from someone who drew it, which is very smart. That says that people think it's a linear path, but it is far from that. My time at Fresno State, I was 3 different majors, and I started with biology, and I got to one of the first classes, and I said, maybe not biology for me. I'm going to be a dentist, so I'm sure I'll take a lot of biology. And I was really interested in mathematics, so I switched to a math degree and got my butt kicked, and I loved every minute of it. And then I ended up finally graduating with a degree in chemistry, and then also I got a minor in mathematics. And Fresno State is just such an amazing place because what it gave me was really all of the tools to be successful. And I think when I got to dental school, which I'll share a little bit with, is when I was in dental school, I was with students from Stanford, Harvard, all of the big name schools when you close your eyes and think of a great college. And while Fresno State maybe not be as known to people that are not from the Central Valley, I sharing my experiences with them and also competing with them side by side at the doctorate level, I saw that my education at Fresno State not only held up, but I think was a real advantage. And that's why I'm so involved and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. Because here's the thing is, you can have nice buildings, you can have nice history, but ultimately it's about the people that you're with, right? And here's a picture 10 years ago now, or even more. Yeah, 10 years ago. There's Dr. Lilinko at graduation. So we're both graduates of the College of Science and Mathematics. So I found that as a little cookie. So surprise, Dr. Lilinko. Then after that, I in 2017 moved to San Francisco. The University of Pacific is in Stockton, but the dental school is in San Francisco. And I pretty much lived in the building that is on the screen in front of you for 3 years. And then we graduated during 2020, which I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a big global pandemic that happened during that year. And so that really threw off a lot of stuff. But ultimately, again, like I said, it really just showed how great of an educational experience I had at Fresno State. And it really prepared me to compete with the best of the best. That's me. If you're curious how dentists learn, we give shots on each other first. So that's me after one of my classmates did his first ever shot on me. And that's me in the chair with a rubber dam, which anyone who's had one, they're not a pleasant time to have. So then I went to Fresno State again because I just love Fresno State, and I really think it is truly a magical place. And I was able to study in the executive MBA program, and through that, we got to go to Vietnam and Japan. And so that was me at the U.S. Embassy, pretending that I knew what I was talking about on diplomatic matters on the U.S. behalf. But truly, just another real small wrinkle and highlight in how awesome Fresno State truly is. And now what I really have is I have gratitude for everything that it gave me. And that's why I'm here on my Saturdays, because I want future Bulldogs to be successful. And any way that I can contribute to your success, I'm more than happy to do that. And so here I am living the dream that I always wanted. And if it wasn't for Fresno State, then I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing. So thank you very much. Go Dogs. And I'll pass it over to Dr. Lilinko.
Oh man, maybe I should have got this. No, I'm kidding. All right, let me go ahead and get my screen up. But while I do that, I will say one of the things I loved about Fresno State was how much it taught me about dreaming big and being in places I never thought I could have been. So I'm really going to be sharing about how Fresno State really influenced my journey to go from being selected as a student to working, like advocating for science and science funding specifically on the on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., to actually working in Washington, D.C. So this was last year. A picture of me on the top of the Capitol Dome. I took a fellowship working in the legislature and was actually able to work in the U.S. House of Representatives, learn all the intricacies. And you're probably thinking, wow, I was really here to hear about how science is important to that. And so to tell you a little bit about that, I think I have to go in a little bit about what my journey was like. So very, very proud Bulldog. I actually came in to do chemistry, but I also am a student of the College of Arts and Humanities. And I was really interested in this idea about communicating science to the public, particularly because of how it's touched my life. I am a first generation college student. My family has had some rare diseases enter into our lives. And so we were really navigating that while I was still learning, still, trying to get an education and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And so I really took advantage of figuring out what were the resources on campus that could give me, access and understanding of like how to use this knowledge, how to do the science, how to go beyond that. So I initially thought I was going to be, a research scientist, being part of programs like the trios Upward Bound in the high school and then the Ronald E. McNair Scholars really gave me the opportunity to do research on campus. So I used to do atmospheric chemistry work. I actually studied how air pollutants impacted public health. And particularly in the Central Valley, that's super important, being, that we trap sort of all the particles in the air and how that impacts how we breathe, how we live. And that led me to kind of go on this like research route, and the broader California State University system had a pre-doctoral program that I was, had the opportunity to apply and receive a year's worth of funding to really explore what it would be like to do graduate school. And from there, I had a gap, a bit of a gap year, you can say. So I ended up finishing my degree, my 2 degrees in December of a year instead of like your traditional ending in the spring and doing all these celebrations. So the connections that I had built at Fresno State actually led me to finding a position at the USDA, their Agricultural Research Service program in Parlier, California, so still staying within the Central Valley, before I ultimately got a position and offer for Iowa State's Department of Chemistry program. And there was where I really merged the chemistry and communication, because I had that opportunity in the pictures before to really talk about communicating chemistry, science policy, really bringing science to public policy spaces. And I could not have done it without the community that I was able to like gain first at Fresno State, where there are clubs that you can be a part of, gain leadership for. You'll notice if you ever visited in the science buildings, in the chemistry department on the top floor nearby, there's a periodic table. I got to help, get the community excited about that, redo the periodic table. We've gotten to do experiments for the local community. I've gotten to meet other chemists internationally and within the nation. So you see several pictures of me getting involved, starting to learn a little bit about that. And I'm actually here now at the American Chemical Society's fall meeting conference. And so I wanted to take time to step out and talk a little bit about that. But I couldn't have done that if I didn't have these opportunities at Fresno State to really like walk through all of these leadership opportunities. And so it's been awesome to really do cool stuff on the how do I bring people together? How do we do all of that? And I've gotten to do really cool science. I've learned how to program, which is crazy. So, touching a little bit on the computer science bit of things. I've learned how to do some of the social science work. And it's all so fascinating. And I would say my curiosity is really all thanks to Fresno State and really opening my brain on what is possible. So I've been so lucky, I think, having teachers who care and who are willing to give you that space to explore. So no matter where you end up in the College of Science and Math or beyond, I think you're going to have a fantastic time at Fresno State, and am really happy to see new Bulldogs come in. And so always happy to stay connected to talk more, but I also want to make sure there's time for us, for Dr. Barnett and I, to answer questions that you have, any concerns we can address. Yeah. And that's it for me.
For everyone, I hope it is clearly communicated if that wasn't obvious after her presentation. Dr. Lilinko is a shining star from our university and an perfect example of just how awesome the people that come from there are. So yes, I'm more than happy to be here with Dr. Lilinko. And if there's any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those too, or whatever we need.
Amazing. Annabelle and Jordan, your stories are so moving and your passion is so moving. And I'm just so grateful to hear your experiences. And I'm so glad that our incoming students and family have that chance as well. Yeah, I wish I had gone to Fresno State as well now. So, I mean, we do have about like 2 to 3 minutes. If there are any questions that come up in the Q&A, feel free to put them in for our alumni. So I'll give about, a few minutes to see if any questions come up, but if not, then we can move on to our next speaker. So here's your chance to talk to two former Fresno State and current rock stars.
I can ask a question. Um, just for you, what was maybe the most difficult part from like in your college experience, and how did you overcome that?
Dr. Lilinko, do you want to jump in or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I think if I had to say what was difficult, and maybe this might resonate with some Fresno State folks, was balancing, your personal responsibilities and what you feel might be your educational responsibilities. I was local. I went to a local area, Fresno High School. I went to Edison High. I stayed local because I had scholarships, because that was what was going to allow me to like pay through for college. But as I sort of alluded to and talked about at the very beginning, I still had personal responsibilities to my family, and I that was really important to me, and I definitely knew that caught up with when things got difficult with the workload academically. And so I was very lucky that people made sure to like tell me and push me to seek out resources when I needed to. And so I think one thing is that you're never going to be alone as a Bulldog here. There are resources to help you succeed, and that you really should take advantage of them while you're here, because the network of support you're going to get is not like anything else I think I've seen. So
Yeah, and Dr. Linko is really a leader not only in our college, in the science community as a whole, but in her family too. And, we really got to spend some quality time, and I'm just so grateful for her friendship. And she does. She was a huge leader and had outside responsibilities, as did I. And I think that's one thing where Dr. Linko and I really share is that, there's everyone goes to college, everyone has their own journey in life, and under the guise of different responsibilities and circumstances. And definitely, I'll speak for mine that I had some unique circumstances where I really had to be a leader in my household like I never really had until I hit college. And so, like Dr. Lulinko, I had to figure a lot of things out. And I think at 18 years old, while I thought I knew everything, I clearly didn't. And so growing up was really, it happened for me at Fresno State. And so in terms of difficulty, yeah, balancing everything is hard. I wanted to be an adult for so long, and once you are one, the reality of being an adult sets in. And so, yeah, no one is going to do it for you. And so, making sure that I was on top of all of my organization and making sure that the assignments and things were done, and as well as this is not the easiest thing to learn sometimes, like quantum mechanics. So, there was actually time where I had to sit and study, which I found that I had to learn how to do that too. And so I'm grateful for all of it. And when I really look at it now, 10 years later since I graduated, the hardest part was leaving. And that's why I didn't leave. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm a board member. And that's why I went and got my MBA, because I love to learn. And Fresno State is just such a great place to cultivate that. So I'm really grateful.
We're grateful to you. So thank you both so much for being here and sharing. It's so great to see your continued successes in your careers, but also in your lives as well. So all
Thank you.
right. Well, thank you. We're gonna move on to invite um, the Director of Financial Aid and Scholarships, Dr. Sierra Estrada. She's going to tell you a little bit about the financial aid and scholarship process within Fresno State. This is really, really important. It can be really confusing, but she's going to shed some light on it. So, Dr. Estrada, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me. I know I just have a few minutes, but we'll go ahead and get started. Could you go to the next slide for me? No, the next one. I'm sorry. I've just got a couple of things on here. I wanted to talk about. I know you guys are about to get started on your first semester here at Fresno State, and we are so excited to have you. But one of the most common issues that I see with incoming students is, unlike the admissions application where it's one and done, they don't realize that they need to apply for financial aid every year that they want to be considered. So while you're in the middle of your first semester here at Fresno State, the financial aid applications for the next academic year are opening up. Could you click the button a couple more times? It looks like there's some animations here that didn't make their way out. For financial aid purposes, there's two different financial aid applications that we use. There's the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, or the California Dream Act application. You do not want to complete both of these applications. You only want to complete one. And if you're not really sure which one is right for you, you'll want to do start with the California Dream Act application. They do have some preliminary questions in them that help you get started. In addition to that, Fresno State has the general scholarship application. There's an image of our webpage right there on the right-hand side of your screen. This follows the same deadlines as the FAFSA and California Dream Act application. All three of them open on October 1st, and they all have a priority filing deadline of March 2nd. What's really cool about the Fresno State scholarship application is it has over 700 scholarship opportunities in one application. It's going to link you to what you're eligible for based on the information that we have in our system. So like your major, for example, but then there's a library in that that also allows you to look at other opportunities in the application that you can apply for that we couldn't automatically link you to. This is an amazing resource, and I would encourage you to complete it every single year. In addition to that, around the same time, October to March, the year prior, is when private and national scholarship season really opens up. And so I'd encourage you to look at those opportunities as well. Fresno State does have the Unleashed Money Portal with the Money Management Center. This is an amazing resource for you guys as students. It helps you learn how to budget your money, learn about credit, and all of that good stuff that goes into being responsible with your finances. But they also have a list of private and national scholarship opportunities that are vetted, because unfortunately in today's day and age, there are so many scams out there for students. And so if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But that is another amazing resource if you want to look at scholarship opportunities. I know I've only got a few minutes with you, so I just wanted to talk about a couple of important things. Like I mentioned, you want to apply for financial aid every year that you want to be considered. It opens October 1st every year, and it has a priority deadline of March 2nd. The most important thing you want to do is get your application in within that time frame, because California has a lot of state aid opportunities that stack with the federal aid. And so students can go through school without even having to take out a loan or pay anything out of pocket because of the grant aids available. But one of the criteria is that you complete your application by that priority deadline. When we do award your financial aid, it is awarded on the assumption that you're going to be a full-time student. So if by chance you are not going to take 12 or more units, your financial aid might adjust to reflect your actual enrollment. And you might be seeing that right now as we're awarding and dispersing financial aid for the current semester that we're in. Like you apply for financial aid every year you want to be considered, you do have to be maintaining your eligibility. We run what's called the satisfactory academic progress every semester to make sure you're maintaining an appropriate GPA, you're making progress on your degree, and you're not taking too many classes that aren't necessary for your degree. If you find that this is an issue, we do let you know, we give you a heads up a semester prior that this is becoming an issue. There's lots of resources on campus. I would encourage you to reach out to the Learning Center. You don't have to be not doing well in school to utilize this resource. They're amazing and they can help keep you on track, but please know that you do have to maintain your financial aid eligibility. Financial aid applications are looking at your income from 2 years prior. This current term, it's looking at 2024 income, and we know that a lot can change in 2 years. So if you find that your situation no longer reflects your ability to pay for school, maybe a parent lost a job or you're estranged from your parents, unfortunately, we do have students that experience that. Please reach out to our office. We can review your financial aid application and your situation to see if there's any situations or appeals that we can make adjustments to your application to better reflect your current situation if it really represents your ability to pay for college in that moment. One other thing I want to encourage you guys to take a look at, if you haven't already, there is the Cal Kids Scholarship. If you go to calkids.org, you can check your eligibility. This is something super fantastic that's come about. And if you do have eligibility, you want to make sure you have those funds sent to Fresno State so that we can get them to you. We do know that students like to take different classes at different schools just to maybe get through their degree a little bit quicker, but please keep in mind you can only get financial aid from one institution at a time. So if you do end up getting aid from 2 different schools, a lot of the time students owe that back and it kind of puts you in a predicament. So I'd like to let you know that ahead of time. And then finally, just really quickly and out the gate, if you have not yet created your Web Grants for Students account, please make sure you do that as soon as possible. The California Student Aid Commission is who determines the state aid eligibility for students across California. Sometimes they need information from you to determine your eligibility in addition to getting your application done by March 2nd. But sometimes you need to make sure that Fresno State is your school of choice. Maybe you thought you were going somewhere else early on and you decided Fresno State was really it for you. Make sure that we are listed as your school of choice in your Web Grants for Students account so that if you're eligible for state aid, they know where they're sending it. Oh, I apologize. I talked a lot, very fast about a bunch of different things, and I know we're getting the semester started. So, our office is super busy right now. Students have a lot of questions, but I encourage you to reach out if you have questions. We do have our windows open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can give us a call, although right now the wait time on the phone is a little bit lengthy. But we do have also what's called Walk-in Wednesday, where you can come in and meet with a counselor on a first come, first serve basis. There's sometimes a little bit of a wait, but we're getting through students as quickly as we can to help them understand their financial aid package. But we're happy to help answer your questions. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Another resource I would encourage you to do, and this QR code will link you right to it, is following us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook. We try to post a bunch of updates, reminders, tips and tricks. We host workshops when the applications open up so that if you need help, you can come in and get help with our counselors right next to you. So that's just another quick and easy resource to stay in the know without having to worry too much about financial aid and keep it relevant at the time. Because with financial aid, you're working in one school year, we're already looking at the next. So there's a lot of moving pieces for financial aid and scholarships. So I won't take up too much more of your time. But again, thank you guys for having me, and we're looking forward to having you on campus.
Thank you, Dr. Estrada. There was a couple questions that were asked. One of them is, can they make an appointment to review the financial aid, or is it only walk-ins and calling?
No, absolutely. So if you want to make an appointment, we can absolutely do that. We encourage you to start by giving us a call or coming in person so our customer service team can see if they can answer your question. If they can't, they can absolutely make an appointment for you. So that is an option, but they're very knowledgeable and able to answer quite a bit of questions so that you don't have to wait for that appointment time.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question, someone asked, what about the verification delay for financial aid?
Oh, great. So the U.S. Department of Education released some new regulations related to federal financial aid that were to go in effect this year. But the way that they were rolled out, the regulations weren't finalized very quickly, and the systems that we have to use to be able to award financial aid, not just Fresno State, but schools across the nation, were in a crunch time to be able to create the functionality for schools to be able to award financial aid. So schools across the nation this year faced quite a bit of delay. Our office in particular was able to start processing towards the end of July, which is unheard of. We had 3 weeks to get through quite a bit of information, things that we would normally be starting in February, March through the fall semester. So yes, there has been a delay. We have been working extremely hard to make sure students didn't feel that. So if you have a verification to do item or any financial aid to do item out there right now, please submit it as soon as possible. There are a couple of weeks processing time, and that's normal. Right now, normally the processing time is 4 to 6 weeks, but we really buckled down and make sure that I was within 2 to 3 weeks because of this delay. So please, of course, keep an eye on your student center. That is how we communicate with you. We also only communicate through your Fresno State email. So make sure you're checking that and responding as quickly as possible, because you go into a queue and it's kind of the first come, first serve in that queue. And everybody's submitting their stuff as quickly as possible so that we can get to it.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Okay, so for the next presentation, we're going to get Nancy Rosales, who is the interim supplemental instruction coordinator at the Learning Center, to share some words.
Okay. And I can share screen, right? All righty. Hello, everyone. My name is Nancy Rosales. I am the interim coordinator for supplemental instruction, which is one of the 3 services in the Learning Center. And I'm going to share my screen to present on the Learning Center. Okay, so the Learning Center is located in the lower level of the library on the basement level, which sounds scary, but it's not once you go down there. We have 3 different services. So we have tutoring, we have supplemental instruction or SI, and academic success coaching or ASK for short. I'll start with ASK because it is a little bit different than the other 2 services that tutoring and SI provide. And so academic success coaching, it's kind of in the name. You get one-on-one coaching with an academic success coach. So a lot of them are students themselves that have, been through the experience and can help coach students that are just navigating it for the first time or just need kind of a safe space to get help in not just particular things that they're dealing with, but also like what's going to help them be successful. So they work on, could be anything from just study skills that they need to work on or just time management or just somebody kind of talk to if they're not sure where to go. We just have them say, go to ASK and you're going to get someone that's going to direct you where you need to be. And so in addition to those one-on-one meetings, they also have 45-minute academic success workshops or ASWs that they host. And so these presentations are really geared towards what they're noticing students are needing. And so, like I said, topics like stress management, time management, growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, could be something like navigating online courses, which a lot of times students don't know how to do. And so those academic success coaches also work on providing toolkits, which are friendly handouts for coaches, for students that the coaches prepare. Again, similar topics. The topics are always changing every semester to cover what students really need to be successful, in addition to being obviously in the classrooms and doing the work, but making sure that they have the other tools to succeed. And so a lot of times, students that are working with the academic success coaches will be asked, if you're having a hard time in a course, are you going to tutoring? Are you going to SI? Are you familiar with what to expect when you attend one of those services? And working with the students to ensure that if it's not a service in the Learning Center, that they're getting them connected to the right place. Tutoring, I feel like most people know what to expect in terms of tutoring, just because there's been a form of tutoring that I'm sure they've been exposed to already. But tutoring on campus offers support for over 700 courses. So there's basically coverage from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I've only seen somebody come in and maybe the next tutor is going to be there in the next 30 minutes. So very rarely is there not somebody on shift that can't support a student. There's different types of tutoring offered. You have course-based tutoring. So for example, I'm here to get support with Chem 1A. You have writing tutors that can provide feedback on papers. And then you have skill-based tutoring. So maybe I'm working on a course that requires me to use SPSS or Excel, and it's not a particular course that I necessarily need help with, but more so using this platform or this software. And there's tutors that can also support with that. There's also paper drop-off, which is an asynchronous format for students. So they can actually book an appointment where they're essentially blocking off a tutor for that time frame, and the tutor is going to review the document that the student uploaded and provide feedback. So by the end of that appointment, they're getting that feedback that the student can then implement that into their writing. So they have drop-in, they have appointment-based, in-person and online, and I'll show the website in a little bit that breaks down their hours for the weekend as well. But they have online appointments, and like I mentioned, the paper drop-off is asynchronous as well. So a lot of times students may not necessarily feel the most comfortable at the beginning, getting feedback, and this is kind of a nice, gateway to getting services and getting support. But we obviously want to see students in person and build a relationship with who we're supporting. There is a QR code for tutoring, the schedule on there, but you can always look up Fresno State Tutoring or Learning Center and it'll take you right there as well. All the tutoring takes place in the Learning Center or, like I said, online format. Typically what you'll see with tutoring is that if you're navigating their website, it also mentions their hours, right? So for example, you can drop in from, 11 to 1 p.m. And then outside of those are scheduled appointments that you can do through your Fresno State Bulldog Connect, or just calling us or just coming in and say, hey, I want to schedule an appointment. There's also online hours that they have. And then you have the Saturday, which is a little bit more of a shorter window, but there is support during that as well. You'll see, for example, here we have a tutor, Angelica, who is technically an ag sciences or, plant-based tutor. So their specialty is those courses. However, you're going to notice courses far outside of that subject as well, too. So when you look at the bank of the courses, you can really just search, for example, I might be taking a CLAS 5 course. Is there a tutor for that? You can just search and it'll filter out anybody that can support that and give you their hours. Usually the schedule will specify if it's drop-in, online based, online support, but you're not bound by any particular instructor in this, whereas SI is a little bit different because it's paired with specific courses. So going into SI, so SI is supplemental instruction. We typically partner with courses that have high fail rates, or have high enrollment over 100 plus, are GE courses, or kind of first in a sequence, right? You're going to be taking this course and then moving on to the next one. And we want to make sure that students get through successfully the first time. But not just that they're also actually retaining the material, not just passing the course for a grade, but really getting the knowledge that they need to move on in the courses, because those courses are typically going to build off the previous ones. So SI is a little bit different from tutoring in a sense that it's paired with a specific instructor. So for example, with Chem 1A, an SI leader would be paired with Dr. Gray's sections. Another SI leader would be supporting Dr. Corsipius, and they cater specifically to instructors because everyone teaches differently, tests differently, and the SI leaders are in the classroom with the students. So they know exactly how far the lecture got, and then we'll specifically plan study sessions based off the material that has been covered, targeting the most difficult areas so that students get practice outside of the classroom. In SI, we definitely focus on like group-based studying. So SI leaders are typically facilitating student-to-student interaction and not necessarily, just spoon-feeding information for students. We leave the teaching to the instructors and really hone in on giving, again, practice with the material outside the classrooms, and also introducing study skills in the sessions. Like I mentioned, it is paired by instructors. So when you're on the SI schedule, for example, in accounting, we have 3 different faculty that we're partnered with this semester. And so depending on the faculty that you're scheduled to take the course with would determine who your SI leader is. And the SI leaders hold 2 sessions a week. And then they also hold walk-in hours, which are a little bit more similar to the tutoring hours where students can just drop in. In that case, it is student-led because they don't know what the students need support in. So the students would have to say, hey, I'm having a hard time with my homework, or I didn't get to go to the study session. I would like to review the material that was covered there, or just questions that they may need help with. The study sessions are pre-planned. The SI leaders have an agenda that they're following that's designed to help reinforce the material and kind of test the students' understanding of how well they've learned that material. A lot of times students will say, oh, yes, it's tutoring, and it's just a different approach to it. We want students to take advantage of all the services. So even if you have SI for a course, if there's tutoring involved, like you'll just get more hours throughout the week that you can get support in. And so you'll have, for tutoring, you may have a lot of chemistry tutors that can cover not just Chem 1A, but up, into organic chem as well. And then NSI, it just depends on who you're taking the course with. And again, that SI leader is assigned to that specific faculty. In tutoring, we say it's a little bit more student-led because the tutors are not in the classroom. So they really rely on what the students share with them and where they need support and kind of go from there. Whereas in SI, because the SI leader is working with the faculty, they're verifying their content and they're getting feedback on that, they're able to tailor it to that specific instructor. And so the sessions are more SI leader led, whereas the walk-in hours are a little bit more student led. And like I mentioned, NSI very much is group work based, and we're able to do that because everybody in there is taking that same class at the same time, and they have that same SI leader, so they're able to really build that community and work together. Whereas in tutoring, there you still overlap when sometimes students that are taking the same courses, but because they cover multiple courses, you'll kind of see a little bit more variation in the kind of courses that students come in for. So you can have a student come in for Chem 1A, someone come in for Chem 150. There's just a little bit more opportunity for variation there. And that's essentially most of what I've covered. Like I said, we're located in the basement level of the library. If when in doubt, you're not sure if there's a course that is supported by SI or tutoring, just come down to the Learning Center or give us a call. There's a good chance that if there's not SI, there is tutoring. And so there's some form of support. And a lot of times students may come in and they may not see a specific course listed on the website, but the front desk team will typically ask, what is it that you need support with? What kind of problems? What kind of course is this? And see if there's some kind of support that can be offered to students. So again, it's free services for students. It's designed to, be here when students need it. And even if they just, they feel confident in the courses, but just want to get kind of tested on their knowledge. It's not just for students that are struggling, it's for all students. And so we want to make sure that students are utilizing the services.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Next, we're going to hear from Kathy Dunbar, the Assistant Director for College Relations, who will tell us about the resources available at the Career Center.
Thank you so much. And I think I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I didn't get you the PowerPoint in advance. So let me pull up the presentation. Thank you all for this time here. I know that's a lot of information, but it's such great information that you're getting to learn early on. So as Mario said, I'm from the Career Development Center. I have a long title, but I'm also a career counselor as well as overseeing college relations. I do have the privilege of being the career liaison for the College of Science and Math, which has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it a lot. So we're just going to go over some little highlights of what the Career Center can offer all students at all levels. So coming in as a freshman, as a transfer, all the way through your senior year. And I've recently been seeing somebody who graduated and we're still trying to work on the job placement, not placement, but like helping her find a job in her area. So from very beginning to the end, what can we do to help you out? Like you have no idea where to start, just show up. We're here to help you. Resume check. You can see here's a main thing. So we can help turn any experiences that you've had into a stronger resume. I know when I was coming in as a high school, senior going on into my freshman year of college, I had no resume. I didn't think about it. But a lot of people come in now with resumes, which is pretty impressive. But we can definitely help you work on those to strengthen them for job preparation and interviews. We do practice interviewing to help you out with those. People sometimes get confused, get stuttery, or we just lose our place when we're being interviewed. It's a real nerve-wracking thing. So the more we can help you practice, the better and more confident you're going to feel. Career conversations, you'll probably start those often with your academic counselors, but we can continue the conversation and help you line up your major with the various careers that are attached to it. Or if you have a career in mind, let's make sure this is the best major for you. Do we want to add a minor? Do we want to do additional things like that? But just start broadening our minds on what is available out there as careers that often we don't think about when we first start the university. We look into help you find jobs and internships. So we don't do placement, but we have resources available for you to help you find jobs on campus, off campus, and also searching for internships when the time comes, hopefully between sophomore, junior year, early junior year. And I do know some majors require 1 year senior year. And then we also have various workshops that you want to pay attention to on our career development website. We have events that are listed You're welcome to any and all of them. In fact, if you want to jot down September 9th, we have a career carnival to help you get ready for our career fairs that are coming up at the end of the month. I think it's September 9th. Now I'm thinking it's the 16th. It's the 16th, September 16th. Look at the events on our website, but we have a carnival ready for you, get you ready for your career fair. We also have an individual liaison for every college that's out there. As I mentioned, I'm with science and math. Adrian does business. Brandon does social science and arts. Damien is our employer relations person that helps bring people to our career fairs. Claudia does internships. Jody does education. And then Nora, health and human services. And the other Claudia does Jordan College of Ag. If you want to just stop in quickly, we have snacks, we have coffee. Our front desk career peer mentors can help with resume feedback, help you figure out how to navigate higher Fresno State to look for jobs, review your cover letters. Are you on track with our career checklist to make sure by the time you graduate, you have all the career readiness lined up, ready to go? Another great thing, and this I think might be my last slide, is that we have free clothes for you to get ready for interview prep. So you're allowed to have 3 items of clothing every semester that you're here. Suits, jackets, dress shirts, skirts, shoes, purses, wallets, ties, whatever you need to look professional, we've got it. Start using us early. By the time you graduate, you can have up to like 24 outfits ready to go. And then what we're encouraging all of our freshmen to take the Focus 2 career assessment. It is available to find on our website. If you go to our careers website, which will be on the next slide, you can take a picture of the screen. It's under the 24/7 resources on the far right-hand column. It says take a career assessment. Helps you define your values, your interests, your personality, and your skills. This is a great way to affirm you're in the right spot, affirm that the career you have in mind is right, or it also can help open up ideas on other things that you may not have considered before. So we want everybody to do our Focus 2. Here's where we are. So we had people wandering campus yesterday. Where's the bowling alley? Bowling alley is on the main level downstairs. Second level of this building is a lounge area. And then the top floor in the corner, that's where we are, room 306. You can take a picture of this slide. It has our website, it has our email and our phone number. And please follow us on social media for the latest and greatest updates that we have coming down. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy. Now it is time to hear from some of our students to provide some words of advice and encouragement to the families of our new students. I would now like to introduce the director for the Center for Access to Science for All, or CASA for short, Ms. Lilia de la Cerda, and Ms. Jessica Bustos, Administrative Support Coordinator for our bond program and Advising and Resources Center, who will moderate the panel.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Bañuelos. This is so exciting. Welcome to Fresno State, everyone. I truly enjoy this student panel. We've been doing this for a number of years, and this is always a highlight for me because this is an opportunity for you to connect with current students. And so we are going to take the opportunity as they're coming up to go ahead and have our student panelists. And then Jessica, we'll be introducing Jessica in just a minute, but yes, who will also be asking questions. So thank you, Jessica. So I wanted to go ahead and give the student panelists an opportunity to introduce themselves. So if you can please share your name, what year you're in, what major, and what career interests. Also, what high school and or community college you attended. So we'll start with Madison.
Hi, everybody. My name is Madison. I also go by Maddie. I am a third-year biology major. I'm aspiring to be a forensic pathologist on the pre-med route, and I had graduated from Clovis High School in 2024.
Great. Thank you, Madison. How about Diana? Diana, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Diana Alvarez. I graduated from Fresno Community College in 2025, and I will be graduating from Fresno State next spring. Very exciting. I'm majoring in psychology, and I intend to pursue the career of a clinical child psychologist.
Thank you, Diana. Milagros, can you go ahead and go next?
Hi, my name is Milagros. I am in my master's program. I'm a computer science major. My career interests are in cybersecurity, and I graduated from Kerman High School.
Thank you. And Jose.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jose, and I am a third year student majoring in a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry. I am on the pre-med track, and I'm hoping to be a pediatrician in the future. And lastly, I attended Selma High School and graduated in 2024 before enrolling at Fresno State.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join today for the Family Partnership Conference to all our students. So we're going to take turns asking you some questions. And then also, if students would like to post questions in the Q&A, you're more than welcome to, and we'll certainly try to get to those questions. So we'll start off with Madison and Diana. So Madison, was there a club, organization, program, study group, or campus activity that helped you find community at Fresno State?
Yes, there was, and I think this is a very important question to address. For me personally, I have been involved in the Sustainability Club on campus. They help run Earth Day every year. It's in May, fantastic event on campus. And within this club, I have been able to combine my love of science and my love of art. Things you might not think go together, but within that, I have found a community of like-minded peers. And we also tend to collaborate with other clubs, so I get to meet even more people.
Awesome. Diana, thank you.
I really want to highlight GASA. I know Lilia has most likely already shared with everyone the benefits of GASA, but from somebody who has actually applied for HCOP and HPPP, which I would highly encourage if you are if you are graduating at the STEM related career, apply. You'll more than likely be accepted. This summer, I had the opportunity to take the HPPP internship, and that was my first experience doing research, which I was very grateful for. And at the same time, GASA was also willing to take us to UCLA to present at the California STEM Symposium, which I'm highly grateful for, and that looks great on your CV or your resume. Not only that, but I've also been accepted to the BITER program, which is a research initiative on campus for tobacco control in Latinx communities. And so, yeah, I just want to highlight GASA really quick as a student, and highly recommend anyone to join and take advantage of those resources.
All right, thank you. Just really quickly, my name is Jessica Bustos. I support our Advising and Resources Center and also our CSM Bond program. And my next question is going to be for our student Milagros. Our next question is, how did you become comfortable talking with professors or going to office hours?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was honestly pretty intimidated to talk to professors or to go to office hours. I think I viewed professors as some sort of celebrities within their field because you see all of their accomplishments, research, and qualifications, and they can seem a little unapproachable. But once I actually started going to office hours, I realized that faculty are also human and they genuinely want to see their students succeed. Office hours are a time that are specifically dedicated to students. So I think the biggest thing is just taking that initiative to show up, and even if it feels intimidating, those conversations have helped me build my relationship with professors and the staff and faculty, which now they know my interests and my strengths, and they have guided me towards opportunities and goals.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. So the next question, I think we may have some transfer students at this event. So I wanted to make sure I have an opportunity to ask the question related for transfer. And Diana, you're a transfer student. So what advice would you give transfer students about getting involved when they feel like they're already supposed to know how college works, right? And what was your experience when you transferred?
So, a concern of mine when I first transferred was the experiences that I should gain in order to look competitive for graduate school, especially majoring in psychology, which is, I believe, the second most popular degree in Fresno State. So there's thousands of students in this department. What's going to make me stand out? And so, priority for me was to pursue research experience and internships. And as I stated before, CASA provides these opportunities. So I encourage students to look into the resources available to them. I also found a program, it's called Finish in 4 through and 2. I believe before it was called the California Prom, there was a different name, but now it's Finish in 4 through and 2. And this helps students obtain highest priority when they're registering. As a psychology student, there are a lot of courses that are very competitive to get into. And I think the only requirements for you to stay in this program is to maintain a 2.75 GPA and to speak with an advisor every semester. But this program allowed me to obtain courses that I may have had to extend my graduation date for. So yeah, I would encourage students to look into that program and definitely look for research opportunities and internships to make them stand out.
Thank you, Diana. And this question is also for you as well, not specifically transfer specific, but just in general. Have you ever had a semester or class that didn't go the way you hoped? What did you learn from that experience?
This was the first year when I transferred. Psychology is one of two departments that require a petition process. So some courses, as I mentioned, are very competitive to get into, as psychology is one of the most popular majors. A few courses I can think of, research methods and intro to the psych major. Some students here I'm sure are already aware. But essentially the petition process, I would highly encourage students to check their email frequently, because that's where I found out about the petition process. And so I was able to fill out a form that allowed me to be considered for a course that the department has available, competitive classes. So let's say all research methods courses are full. Well, the petition process, they may have a few more available for students who maybe didn't get to sign up. I know as a transfer student, our dog days is delayed a couple weeks, so we really don't really have much classes to sign up for. So I found this petition process very helpful. And yeah, just check your emails, search on Fresno State, look up resources, but yeah.
Great. Thank you, Diana. Really appreciate that advice. So our next question, Madison, can you share a little bit more about how did you learn about opportunities outside of the classroom, such as research, internships, but maybe volunteering clubs, jobs, professional organizations, all of the above, maybe just one. Can you just share your experience?
Of course. To start off on this question, I want to say what I am involved in on campus. Like previously mentioned, I am treasurer of Sustainability Club. I also happen to work for and with Jessica for the CSM Bond program. So if you're an incoming freshman, you might have me as an instructional student assistant. And I also happen to do research in the Wasselkoff lab. Now, all of these opportunities I have been able to reach through talking to people. It may seem very scary to come into a college when you're just graduated high school, you're transferring, and everybody's telling you nobody's gonna care if you don't show up or if you don't do your classes. But I want to be the one to tell you that's really not true. I have yet to meet a single professor where if I don't show up to class, they're shooting me emails saying, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? What's going on?" It's because I'll take the time and I'll introduce myself to them before class, after the first class, and you talk to them. And one of my biggest pieces of advice for my incoming freshmen is if you see a crowd, follow it. It typically leads to different events on campus, and my keyword is free food. They do a lot of events that want to entice you over to talk to them, and they offer free food and then free clothing items too. The shirt I'm wearing, I got for free through the clothing closet. Amazing. So I would just say talking to people and understanding that you are either all in the same boat or at one point your professor was you. So don't be afraid.
Thank you so much for that advice, Madison. Okay, my next question is for Jose. And I'm going to ask, what is something you worried about before starting Fresno State that turned out not to be as big as a deal as you thought?
Yeah, so while I was in high school and just thinking about college, I was really scared about the academic workload. I knew that I had wanted to major in chemistry, but only having taken 1 year in high school, I felt a little unprepared, and just the thought of having those chemistry classes was intimidating. But as I went through my courses, I saw that there was a lot of academic resources, especially as Nancy talked about with the Learning Center. You are a supported student here at Fresno State, so you will have your worries, but there's always somebody where you can ask for help, and that's really great about Fresno State. So yeah, it's just at first it's scary just thinking about college, but as you go throughout your classes, you'll learn ways to study and just how to combat those challenges. And it'll take time and trial and error, but that's where the learning process is at. So just have fun. Yeah.
I love that. Thanks, Jose. Having fun, right, is important. So we, Milagros, we have a question for you. Um, yeah, so what is something you wish someone would have told you before your first semester, before starting, or maybe during your first semester at Fresno State? Can you share a tidbit of advice in that area?
One thing I wish someone would have told me my first semester would be to not be so hard on myself, especially being in STEM. I think that we can feel like it's very competitive, and a lot of us come in with a lot of resilience and a go-getter mindset where we feel like we always have to be working towards the next thing. So for me personally, I grew up in a Hispanic household where working hard was always really emphasized. So taking a step back and prioritizing your well-being wasn't something that came naturally to me. But throughout college, I've learned that you can work hard and still take care of yourself. Don't leave yourself behind when you're trying to accomplish your goals because burnout is real and it's not a nice feeling, and recovering from it can be very difficult. So I would say to incoming students, give yourself some grace. You don't always have to have everything figured out or do everything perfectly to be successful.
Thank you for that, Milagros. That is completely true. We cannot pour from empty cups. Thank you for sharing. Okay, my next question is again for Jose. What is an opportunity you've had at Fresno State that you didn't know existed when you first arrived?
So an opportunity that I've taken advantage of and still currently am is being an ISA for the CSM 10 class for Bond, along with my coworkers Madison and Jessica. So it's been a really rewarding experience, helping first year students and guiding them through their first year of college. But one thing, especially with that opportunity, was I didn't know that that was an opportunity upon entering that classroom. Um, and just with a lot of on-campus jobs, I know that might be on somebody's radar, um, especially with the financial aspect of college. A lot of people look for jobs, and Fresno State has a lot of them. And a lot of people's first impression of a job is like fast food. But while you take your courses, there are jobs that coincide with them, especially SI tutors. Um, so just a change of thought, if you do want to get a job, just be on the lookout while you take your classes. Yeah.
That's a great, great piece of advice, also, Jose. So thank you so much. So in the interest of time, I'm going to ask all our panelists for maybe just one piece of advice just one thing that you do that helps you balance your classes and your studying, your work, and family responsibilities. So maybe we'll start off with Madison. What's one thing that you do to help you balance, or yes, balance everything, maybe time management?
Time management wise, I have a lot of different hats I wear on campus and at home. One way that I manage to balance it is I will write sticky note reminders on my mirror. Because sometimes I turn off my phone and I will throw it across the room, and so Google Calendar doesn't always work. And then I also highly recommend scheduling out time to eat. It is very important.
Yes, eating and drinking plenty of water, right, Madison? Milagros, do you have a piece of advice? How you manage?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely staying organized and using the calendar on your phone. I feel like it could be very useful. Definitely schedule everything out. And like Madison said, schedule the times you need to eat, times you need to hang out with people, because it really comes in handy.
Thank you. Thank you. Jose, you mentioned a little bit about time management. Anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, so what I like to do as well as Madison and Milagros is I like to visualize my schedule. So with Google Calendar, that's really helpful. And just also having the widget on my lock screen on my phone. So if there's an event that's upcoming, so in the morning I'll be able to see it. So just keeping track of the little things like that. So yeah.
Love that piece of advice, having it right there on your phone. Yeah, thank you. And Diana,
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of what everyone else said. I have a widget as well, but it's more reminders. So any assignments coming up, I have the reminders right there. I use sticky notes and I have them on my desk just to keep track. I know sometimes maybe when the day seems overwhelming, a list just makes it seem so much more manageable. You can also transfer your Canvas calendar onto Google Calendar, because I know it can be a little frustrating having to switch from one calendar to the other. But Google Calendar has the ability where you can attach a link and everything will transfer onto just one visualized and color-coded beautiful calendar. I love Google Calendar. But yeah, that just helps me out.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for taking time on your Saturday to share your advice and welcoming our new students onto Fresno State campus. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of the hosts and the student panelists. That was some really, really helpful advice. So for our students that are still on board here, definitely take that advice to heart, especially just remembering to sleep and eat and take care of yourself and come see me and come see Mario in office hours. We really love when our students come by. So thank you all for your insights. We are pretty much coming to the end of our presentation today. We're going to have a little bit of final take-home info for you, but before we do, I would like to invite our Senior Associate Dean, Dr. Joy Goto. She will provide a few closing remarks for us.
Hi, everybody. I know I'm the closer, so just like any good closer, I'm going to pinpoint my comments. Obviously, the students have done a wonderful job. Our student panelists always give the best advice. I could see by the applause coming from our audience today. But so glad that all of you first-year freshmen, first-year transfer students made it today. We're so fortunate to have you. Again, we want to welcome you to Fresno State. And one of the proverbs I always like to mention to new students is the African proverb that you can go fast alone, but you can go far together. And I hope that you've seen today all the different opportunities and the resources, and especially the people that are here to support you. Whether or not we're thinking about Dr. Barnett and Dr. Lelinko, who I remember as students when I was teaching biochemistry, they've come so far from when they were first year students to where they are now, to our four panelists, our students, Milagros, Diana, Maddie, and Jose, thinking about all that you've overcome and how you have such wonderful advice for our incoming students. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Banuelos and Dr. Ingles.
Thank you, Dr. Goto. As we draw to a close, we would like to look ahead to what's next and how we can continue to be engaged. So please visit our College of Science and Math web page. This is a great starting point to learn about events and research opportunities in the college. Just type in Fresno State CSM, and it should be one of the first links that pops up. We advise you to take a minute or two to get acquainted with the web page and its sections before the start of the semester. The Students tab is a great starting point for information on available resources. So from here, you can reach the Advising and Resources Center or ARC and find links to support systems, resources, clubs, and opportunities for scholarships, and as well as research.
And as you heard from our student panel, the experiences you're going to have here at Fresno State are going to go well beyond the classroom. And we really encourage you to take advantage of the access to the amazing faculty and researchers that we have at Fresno State and do some hands-on research, learn in the lab. It's really important to do that networking and get experience out in the field, maybe doing field work for ecology classes or doing research with a professor. We have many opportunities for undergraduates to do research as well as grad students. I personally have an undergraduate doing paid research for me in my lab. Mario is doing some really, really fascinating work on valley fever, and you can get involved even as a freshman. So whether it's through doing research, internships, or doing community service work, these experiences are going to give you just a way better understanding of how the learning that you're doing in the classroom is really applies and has so much potential to make an impact outside the classroom. And finally, connect with us on social media, tag us, friend us, connect with us. All the QR codes are below. Find us on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. We post a lot of information. And you're also going to find your individual departments and different programs on campus are going to have their own pages. So start hitting that follow button today so you're all ready for next week.
So this brings us to the close of today's program. On behalf of everybody at College of Science and Math, thank you for spending part of your day with us. Your encouragement and support are such an important part of student success, and we're grateful for the role you play in the journey. We hope you found today's program really helpful and that you feel more prepared for Monday. I need to do some preparation still for Monday. We look forward to working alongside you and your students to celebrate with you in the future when they cross that graduation stage. Be on the lookout for follow-up emails sharing info that we talked about today. We didn't have the time to spin the wheel live, but we're spinning it here on the backstage. So for those lucky winners, we're gonna send you an email and follow up. Check your email, something that it wasn't mentioned today, but that's like, I'll leave you with that also. Please check your email. So thank you again. Gracias otra vez for joining us. Goodbye for now and have a wonderful afternoon.
Again, thank you all so much for being here. Have a great last weekend before school, and we are so excited to see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.